so this is card number 3. Yeah. And this one, it's really simple. It's so totally different than all the rest. Let me grab my stamps here that I need. This, I will put on your instructions where this came from, but if you have a grunge stamp, that's what you want. You want something that's going to give a blob. You know, it could be a fill for a flower. It could be anything that will work on this. My Thinking of You, and like I said, I'll put on all your instructions, what word stamps I used, because I have to put all these away. And so let's get started with card number 3. So card number 3 is super simple. The biggest part is stamping the blob and the words. So I am using Soft Succulent because that's the color I used here. So I'm just going to ink up my grunge here, stamp off. That is pretty right there. And then I'm just going to stamp it again because I want it real light in the background. It's gorgeous. Okay, now when I get ready to stamp my words, I want to make sure my words are going across like this because it's a diamond, not a square. I'm going to check my words and make sure, oops, I didn't stamp very well there. There's something going on with my thinking. Uh-oh. Okay, so what's happened here is something got set on top of this stamp probably in my basket, whether it was a stamp pad or something, another block. And so it has pressed down this section right there. Let's see if we pull it up, if that will come up. Perfect. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't work, you can put a glue dot underneath the indentation and that will pull it up just for the time being until it comes back out. It will automatically pop back out eventually, but of course not right now, it wouldn't. But by just pulling up on that stamp, that released that foam so that it repositioned itself, and that worked well. But like I said, that doesn't always work. So, all right, for this one, you're going to need to cut a piece of designer series paper, and the one I chose was this. It's got the leaves on the back, and it's the pretty shimmery on the front. And it's going to be cut at 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. Yes, 2 3/4. And it doesn't fit. Okay, what's going on here? You know what? I'm going to leave it that way. If you want, you can trim off this. I think that's what I did. I know that's what I did. I trimmed these papers down, and I didn't trim. No? Okay, let's check this out and see if it's at 5 1/2. It's at 5 1/4. I scored it wrong. I scored this one at 3 inches is what I did, not realizing. I'm going to leave mine like it is. So we're just going to redo this card a little differently. So we're going to leave that edge there because, or you can cut your paper a little bit wider. So you'd need to cut it at 3 inches. Yes, cut your designer series paper at 3 inches. And then that will fit there perfect. I'm going to leave mine. I like when I make a mistake and it changes something and it gives me a different look. This will give just a little bit of a different look because it's not going to make that much difference. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to center it so that it's even. It's got the even edge on both sides. Okay, and then this is my center, and I'm going to put that in here. Interesting, my first cards are the ones I've had a problem with, not my last ones. Let me grab a new ink, a new adhesive. So whenever I run out of this, I make sure that I clean these areas right here before I put my new one in. Because see that? Ew, that's all gunky and dirty. And that's what will cause it to mess up when you're running it. And it doesn't matter what tape dispenser. no matter what tape dispenser you're using. So if you're using the little pink dots, you still want to clean it when you change it, and that will help keep it moving. Now the pink dots do have another issue, but we'll talk about that at another time. Okay, let's put this in here. I like to clean these, but I'm not going to do that right now. Somehow it gets glue all over it. I just don't know how that happens, huh? Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is going to go inside my card. And that's where I'd stamp my greeting if I wanted to put one in there. Okay, and then you have this, which we just stamped. Come on, grab, thank you. And we're just going to put that on here. And it's just a very tiny edge, just to give it that beautiful little gold look. And then make sure you have your dots the right side on your paper here. Your dots go in. And then this is going to go on here. So for this, I'm going to use my glue. And I'm just going to put it on this side. So I don't want to go past that midpoint. And make sure you're putting it on the right area. I want the points to go up and down. See, that made no difference at all whether that was on there or not. And I forgot my ribbon. Oh, crumb. Okay. My paper was put on with, we're going to go back under here. And I usually only glue around the edges. So I'm going to show you a trick. And oh, crumb is my swear word. Guys, my granddaughter thinks it's funny. She's always thought it was funny because I'd say, oh, crumb, when something goes wrong. And that's always been. That's my word saying, oh, something's not right. So instead of saying a swear word, I say, oh, crumb. All right, and it should have been over a little further, but that's okay. So guys, put your ribbon on before you put your paper on. Read the instructions. Don't watch my video, read the instructions. This one's easy. And I'm gonna change the instructions. I could just run that under there, through there, but I'm kind of stubborn this way, and so I really should have my spatula. Did you know that our Take Your Pick tool has a spatula? That is what's perfect for this. Look at that. It just lets it go right underneath there. And then I can just take this and tuck it underneath there. Just using my spatula again. Look at that. Perfect under there. I should have done that at the top because the top's off a little bit. And it needs to move over. Okay, we're going to leave it alone. So wrap your ribbon around and put it on the back of your designer series paper. Okay, let's tie a bow. I'm going to put a glue dot underneath. And this comes all together. This comes with the spatula and with the piercing tool and the putty. There is a one of these that you can buy separate to add to it. But this comes the way it is, and I love my Take Your Pick tool. I use it so much. When it first came out, I wasn't sure I would really use it that much, but I have, over time, gotten so that I use it for everything, as you saw. Okay, so I'm going to put a little glue dot underneath this ribbon just to hold it in place. I think I'm getting tired and making mistakes. I'm wanting to be done. That's probably it. I love making cards, but I don't know. When you make 10 of them in about 3 hours, 2 hours, it's a little bit much. So, Okay, let's add a glue dot to the back of this. And there we are. Let's add some bling. Finish that off with some bling. For this one, I want the clear bling. Oh, and we have a butterfly. This little butterfly I cut out of the Quiet Meadow dies, the dies that go with Quiet Meadow. And they are so sweet just to add up there. I'm going to put a little glue on him. And just put him right up there. And then I'm going to just add my bling here. And there it is. So that is card number 3. I hope you're enjoying what you're doing so far, and I will see you. There's much more to come. Thank you. Bye-bye.